So as you'll recall, I did a video on how important it is to use weights on a nymph rig. I talk about using indicator nymph rigs a lot. It's very effective. I've even written an article on using weights on a nymph rig. But one thing I just realized was I never showed you how to build your nymph rig. Hi, Dave from Jesse Brown's here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build your indicator nymph rig for all those beginner fly fishermen out there. So, first, we're going to start from the top, and then we're going to work our way to the bottom of the nymph rig here. So, this is 5X tapered leader, 5X and 4X, typically what we're using in a lot of trout water around here. So, it's 7.5 feet. So, I'm going to go through all 7.5 feet of it, all the way down to the last fly. So, this is the end here. This attaches to your fly line, correct? So, I like to put my strike indicator really close to the top because I like to fish really deep. Now, you don't always have to do that if the water is really shallow and you're fishing a really shallow run. Of course, you can always adjust your strike indicator a little lower. I like to fish really deep. I like to start as long as I can to begin with. The indicator that I have on here is the airlock. These have been out of production for a while, and they just came back into production. It's one of my favorite strike indicators to use. They are now back, and they are made of foam, and they are biodegradable. So they're thinking about protecting our trout fishing environment. It's great. They still work the same way. You still got the nut on top of here that you can loosen, so you can easily adjust it up and down the leader. So like I was saying, I like to keep my strike indicator way up, maybe about a foot away from my fly line, so I can fish really deep. So now I have all this leader to get down nice and far, and I'll bring it down to our weight. So this is a AAA weight, so it's about 0.8 grams. I just have one on here. Sometimes you may need even more, so you can really get it down to those fish. So that way when you cast up that run, these weights sink really fast, so you're not missing any of that water. So this is one AAA. You can also use BBs. BBs are 0.4 grams. So I might even do a AAA and a BB above that. All depends on how fast the water is moving. All depends on how deep you're fishing and the size of the flies. Those are all factors that go in. Now I like to keep my weight right above where I attach my tippet. So now I have a little stopper if my weights tend to slide. It's right above that knot. That's a double surgeon's knot. So this is where my tippet begins. I put my weight right above my tippet. All right. Then I'm going to do about a foot of tippet to my first fly. All right, my first nymph. My first nymph is usually something that's going to be a little bit bigger. This is a Pat's rubber leg, something that's can either be an attractor pattern. You can do like a squirmy worm, whatever. Some kind of attractor pattern, some kind of bigger fly is my first fly here on the chain. I always fish with 2 nymphs. Want to up our chances, see what the fish are hitting, or perhaps maybe they could be hitting something smaller. Some of your bigger fish that are going to be push themselves to the front of that run might take this bigger fly before they take the smaller fly. So I always fish 2. My bigger fly is in the front here, right? Then I'm just doing a clinch knot to the bend of the hook, doing about another foot to my second fly. Here I have a pheasant tail nymph, something smaller, more natural. All right? I always do the smaller fly in the back. It's either this or a soft tackle, or whatever your smaller, more natural fly is going to be. All right, and that's my last fly in the chain there. So you'll notice with these 2 flies, all right, I got about 2 feet away from the weight. So the way they're going to drift is the weight's going to be on the bottom. This fly is going to be just above the bottom, and then this fly is going to be just a little bit above that. Now, if you find that they're hitting this fly a lot more, you could always switch these 2 or just fish 1 fly. That's always an option too. A lot of people just fish 1 fly. I always fish with 2. So now we'll go back up to the top, all right? So we have our small, more natural fly on the bottom, foot of tippet to our bigger, more attractive pattern, foot of tippet to the leader. All right, then we have our weights above that. And you can always put your weights wherever you want. Like I said, I like to put mine above the tippet, so I have a bit of a stop with this knot here. All right, then I have my leader going all the way up, probably about 5 feet to my strike indicator, all right, the rest of the leader goes to the fly line. And that's how you should set up your indicator nymph rig. Everybody be safe out on the water. You can still fish in the winter. Remember, trout are cold water fish, and you're definitely going to have to get down deep to those fish because it is winter. Their metabolism slow down. I've done a video on that in the past. So everybody enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Always tell somebody where you're going when you go out fishing, and enjoy using the indicator nymph rig. Have a good one.